if you want to understand Web3, the first thing you need to understand is what is Web1, then transition higher into what is Web2, then go higher into what is Web3. Hello, my name is Ovi from Buildstation, and today I'll be taking you through the history of the web, starting from Web1 to Web2 to Web3, through the point of view of a newbie. Let's get right into it. So let's look at understanding Web3 from a beginner's point of view. And yeah, we'll be looking at the history of the web, starting from Web1 to Web2 to Web3, and we'll be looking at key features and benefits of Web3, and just list out the core technology powering Web3. We won't be going through it in this video, but in the next. So let's get into the first. All right, so if you are around during the late 90s, you'll be very familiar with what Web1 is. It was the early version of the internet, and it was just static. A visual representation of it is just like Wikipedia. Its problem is that you can only read, you can only consume stuff. You can't post your thoughts when you don't agree with what you are consuming, and you can't post your own stuff. Right now, we are making an example of Web1, Web2, Web3 using the media. That's the problem with Web1. You can only read, you can't post your own stuff, and you can't interact with this stuff. Now, seeing how Web1 was boring, we innovated into Web2. With Web2, you have social media platforms like Facebook, WhatsApp, TikTok, Instagram, and all that, and even YouTube when you're watching this. You can interact and you can post your own phone. You can post your own stuff, making it more fun. But the problem with Web2 is you don't own your stuff. The platform where you are posting this stuff can decide today to just block your account or just remove your content. And that's the problem with Web2. You don't have ownership. And that's what Web3 is trying to solve. With Web3 platforms like Zora and Fakasta, as you can see here, you have ownership of your account and your content. Let's go to the next slide to contrast Web1, Web2, and Web3. So like I said earlier on, in Web1, you can only read. It's just a static page. Just picture Wikipedia in your head. You can only read stuff there, but you can't interact, and you can't post your own stuff because obviously you don't own the site. But with Web2, you can read, you can create an account that allows you create your own content and comment and even interact. But the problem is you have no ownership. The platform might decide tomorrow to remove your account or just block your content or shadow ban you, stuff like that. And that's the thing Web3 is trying to solve. With Web3 platform, you can read, you can comment and interact, and you have ownership over your stuffs, your data, your content, and every other thing that concerns you. Now let's get into the key features and benefits of Web3 over Web2 and Web1. The key feature of Web3 is that it's decentralized. Since it's not owned by one person, no one can just wake up tomorrow and block you or remove your content. It's decentralized, it's owned by everybody and nobody. Number two is it's transparent. Okay, unlike in Web2 where someone can do some sort of brouhaha behind the scene and just remove you, in Web3 everything is on chain, it's on the blockchain. We'll come to that later, but I'm trying to take things one step at a time. It's transparent, everyone can see interaction online, which means you can't do brouhaha behind. Okay, you can't edit stuff, people can see this stuff. Number three is it's secured. We'll come to that too, because it's built on the blockchain. You can't just edit out stuff behind. Number four is that of ownership. As I explained earlier, you own your stuff, and this makes it so fun, so exciting. So that's it about me explaining Web2, Web1, Web2, Web3 using the media as an example. Now over to you. I would love you to take on this exercise. Okay, before you take on this exercise, let's just talk about the core technology powering Web3. We have the blockchain, of course. We won't be going in depth into that in this video. In the next video, we'll be going in depth into the blockchain. But the blockchain is the core technology powering Web3. Then we have the smart contract. Since there is no person taking decision for everyone, there's no central authority. Of course, we have to have something that's making a decision. That's why we have smart contract. We'll get into that later. Smart contract is basically like an automated agreement. Let me use that word, but we'll get into that later. Then we have cryptocurrency, which is like the currency of Web3. We have decentralized storage, which is just a channel for transmitting content across the chain. Then we have self-custodial wallet, which is obviously to hold your assets, to hold your data and everything that belongs to you on chain. Now, as I said, I'll be giving you a task to do so you can better understand this Web3 stuff. So far, I've explained Web3 from the point of view of a newbie using the media. I explained how we've transitioned from a static web that doesn't allow you interact and only consume to a web that allows you interact and consume, but you have no ownership, to the Web3 that allows you post your stuff, interact, and you have ownership. I want you to research and do the same using the financial system, which is the bank. Research and write out how we've transitioned from Web 1 to Web 2 to Web 3 in the financial system. See you in the next video.